Hi guys, it's Ray here from City Fan TV. As you can see, it's a very blustery, windy Manchester. I'm here at Etihad Stadium. You can see right behind me, you can see the stadium, you can see I'm at City Square. If I spin this round, the club shop behind me. We're going to talk about Riyad Mahrez and what happened yesterday. Now, last night, Sam Lee from The Athletic, he put out a tweet to say basically that some of the players weren't happy with Riyad Mahrez. He was too greedy. I think that was the name of the story. Is Riyad Mahrez too greedy? Apparently, Kevin De Bruyne, after West Ham, had a go at Riyad Mahrez. Don't know if it was directly to him or to other players or whatever. That Riyad Mahrez didn't pass. He dribbled when he should have passed. Apparently, according to Sam, Riyad Mahrez had the same problem earlier in the season where Fernandinho and Sergio Aguero complained that he was dribbling or being greedy, not passing the ball when he should have done. And they felt that he hadn't taken these comments, this advice, let's call it, on board. Now, we saw that, and then a while later, Mahrez came out and basically said, I don't know where you got your sources from, check your sources because it's simply not true. So let's try and dissect it. Let's try and see if there's anything in this story, whether one of the parties is wrong, are both parties right somehow. What is actually going on? I think Sam later on came out and said he's spoken to Manchester City Communications Department, and that's Vicky Kloss and others, possibly. I think she's head of our communications, and there was miscommunication, but the story still stood. So let's have a look at it. Basically, is Mahrez too greedy? Yeah, he is. I said that last season. I said it several times this season. I said he is too greedy and he's not making the right pass at the right time because he's looking for too much individual glory. He's taking shots. He's looking for openings so that he can take shots instead of sometimes making the right pass. We saw it against Marseille, I think, or Marseille or West Ham. Can't remember which game now. Probably it was, sorry, West Ham. He was on the touchline, on the byline, and he took somebody on. I got past him, but then he took the ball out. It was a ridiculous piece of skill, but it came to nothing. And he did it again in the game against Sheffield United, where he was dribbling past people, and then he just held the ball too long. It was, look, if his bit of skill comes off and he ends up with a goal, people are going to talk about it for ages, months, or longer. But when it doesn't come off, you've got to take the responsibility that you cocked up, that you messed up. Now, is Riyad Mahrez alone in being greedy? No, he isn't. Okay, Kevin De Bruyne, tell you what, he's greedy when he wants to be as well, and you don't see him beating himself up about not passing to somebody when someone else was in a better position. I'll give you an example. Last season, Man City at home to Spurs, we drew 2-2. I think we had 29 shots, they had 2 shots. Kevin De Bruyne, I remember we were winning 2-1. He was on the right side of the penalty area. Now I think, I was at the game, so I'm going on my memory, there was someone on the inside, probably someone like Raheem Sterling. He was always there looking for the tap-in. Now I think the pass on the inside was probably the better option. What did KdB do? KdB had a shot. It was a wild shot, high and wide, and it certainly wasn't very handsome. But so he was greedy. And I said at the time, it's like we were attacking so much, we were having so many chances that it felt like the players were thinking, well, it's not going to make any difference if I'm greedy now and take it on myself. We're winning 2-1, we're having so many chances, we're going to smash this team. Ended up Spurs coming back and they drew 2-2. Are other players greedy? I would say so too. Let's give you another example. Raheem Sterling. Now, I criticised him for several months last season, and some people might not have seen it until towards the end, but I said he wasn't contributing enough. I said he was scoring goals, but his assists were non-existent. Okay, he wasn't taking people on the way he used to, and he wasn't providing, I think, the easy opportunities for our other team for his teammates to score goals. He got 1 Premier League assist last season, did Raheem Sterling. 1. 20 league goals, excuse me, which is a good number, 20 league goals, but 1 Premier League assist. Is that a team player? From the context that he's not providing goals, he's scoring goals and he's playing for the team. Don't get me wrong. Don't try and misconstrue me. Don't try and misunderstand me. But is he creating enough for his teammates? Are they just missing those chances, or is he just not creating enough? One assist, it's not. It doesn't cut it with me. Other players are like that. Mane had a pop at Salah last season for not passing to him and going for personal glory. It happens, guys. Players are greedy. All of them. And you might get KdB saying, oh yeah, I prefer to create a goal than to score it myself or whatever. You might say that, but you might think that. But when I see you, taking on too many touches or taking on too many players, then you can't believe that. But it's happened forever, guys. When you were kids playing football, most of us, we were greedy. We won't pass that ball. We wanted to spend as much time with that ball stuck to our foot as possible. And even though you had teammates, you tended not to pass to them. And it happens with professionals too. So, have his teammates been saying something? According to Sam Lee, they have. I don't know who his source is, whether his source is one of those players or some other players who've overheard, whether it's one of the coaches who's told him this or somebody else. It's got to be somebody who has intimate knowledge of the players. How can something that KdB says or Aguero and Fernandinho say get to a reporter, to a journalist like Sam Lee? How can something that they say, Sam Lee turn around and say that Aguero and Fernandinho spoke to him previously and they don't believe he's listened to them, although their words have got through to him, their advice has got through to him? How can that be? So surely that would imply the source is very close to the conversation. Don't know who that is, guys. Now the club haven't come out and denied the story, apparently. There's nothing to say that these conversations didn't take place. All we have is Riyad Mahrez saying, no, this isn't true. Well, if these guys are talking behind your back, then how will you know what they've said? Now, you can go and say to them, did you say this? And they can say no. They can be, if they don't want you to know, they can just say, we didn't say that. So it's really difficult to believe one side or the other. And I think it's difficult to believe Mahrez. How can he categorically say that those conversations didn't take place? What I will criticise him for, I've said this before, when he was at Leicester, he had some banging numbers. When he was player of the season, he had some top numbers. When Leicester won the league title, was it 2016, he was awesome. Okay, and people say he's playing a different style of football now at City than he was at Leicester. He's certainly not getting as much freedom at City as he had at Leicester. He was top dog at Leicester. There's no question about that. And now he's just one of many. Okay, he's not the top dog at City. I mean, that accolade goes to KdB. And then you got other people ahead of him like Aguero, when David Silva was here, and when Leroy Sané was here, and when Sterling. They're all above him in the pecking order of greatness at City, or respect, or whatever you want to call it. He's got to put the numbers in. This is my criticism of Riyad Mahrez. Yes, he was poor. In my opinion, really poor in the game against Sheffield United. But hey, Pep's picking him, Pep's playing him, and Pep's keeping him on the pitch for 84 minutes, I think it was. He's kept him on for 84 minutes before Gundogan came on. I'll be honest, that has got the biggest cheer from me, more so than Kyle Walker's awesome goal. Because Mahrez had a really poor game. Yes, he was greedy. Yes, what he was doing wasn't coming off, and he had no impact on the game for me. And we said, several of us at the time, that Kyle Walker was a better winger than Riyad Mahrez. He was doing much better stuff on the wing than Riyad Mahrez was doing. The issue for me is, as I said, Mahrez isn't doing the same numbers as he was doing at Leicester. Okay, now you'll turn around, and I've said it, he was probably one of our top 3 players last season. But is that saying much? We exited the Champions League at the quarter-final stage. FA Cup at the semi-final. We did quite well to get that far. League, we were miles off Liverpool. What was it? 18 points off Liverpool. So I'm not saying last season was a fantastic season and Mahrez was our 3rd best player. It was an all-right season compared to what City have been doing in the last 10 years. And Mahrez was one of the best 3 in an all-right season. It doesn't really elevate you to where you should be. He's 29, coming on to 30 years old. He should be in the prime of his career, he should be doing the same sort of numbers at Leicester. What he was doing at Leicester was in a team, okay, they won the league title, was good, okay? He got plenty of goals, plenty of assists, high numbers. Last season he got, for City, in the Premier League, in 33 appearances, he got 11 goals and 9 assists. That's 20 overall, 20 goals and assists in the Premier League. I don't think that's enough. For me, the number should be 25 to 30. Look at KdB, 20 assists, 13 goals. That's why he's the best. 33 goals and assists in a season. Yeah, you look at someone like, and why I criticised Raheem Sterling, he got 21. When Raheem Sterling was doing bits, Centurion season, he got, I think, 18 goals and 11 assists. I think he had 29 goals and assists in that Centurion season. In the following season, in the formidable season, I think that was 27. Last season it was 21. And I criticise him. I don't pick on Mahrez. I don't single him out. But I say, I don't think Sterling's numbers were good enough last season. I don't think he performed well enough last season, in my personal opinion. Okay, especially when you compare it to what he's done in the previous 2 seasons. You'd want him as a young player, 24, 25 years old, to be getting better and better and better. And I think, like a lot of other City players, he dropped off last season. So it's not picking on Mahrez, not just singling him out for criticism, okay? But 20 goals and assists in this City team that scored, was it 102 goals? So we're scoring a lot more goals than Leicester did when he did good numbers for them. He's got to be doing better numbers for us. And as I said before the start of the season, he's got to now be concerned. Yeah, the interest in Messi obviously was real. City thought they had him. City thought Messi was coming. Okay, that's my contacts, my sources tell me City were pretty much sure that Messi was coming to Manchester. Okay, it didn't happen. But if Messi does come in January or next summer, where does that leave Riyad Mahrez? If Messi's playing on the right and the choice is Mahrez or Messi, you know, there's only one winner. Ferran Torres, we've seen, okay, he's been playing a couple of games up front. He's got, was it 3 goals and 2 assists this season? I think Mahrez has got 1 goal and 1 assist in 8 or 9 games. That's not enough. You know, even ignore the sub appearances and all that, but 1 goal, 1 assist, it's not good enough. You've got to be putting the numbers in. And before the start of the season, I said that Riyad Mahrez was at serious risk for Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres looks like a real talent, and once he settles, Pep said he's quite shy, once he settles and gets his confidence and gets a run in the team, he might be pushing Riyad Mahrez out. And I said that by Christmas. I said it might take a little longer, might happen by the end of the season. But even if Messi doesn't come, where does that leave Riyad Mahrez when you've got someone like Ferran Torres breathing down his neck, who's doing it's only a few games, but he's putting in better numbers than Riyad Mahrez, better performances. He's showing more application. He's showing more desire. He's just arrived at City. He's 20 years old. He wants to prove himself. He wants to be a starter in this team for permanently. Okay, Riyad Mahrez is at the other end of his career. He's 29, 30 years old. I don't think he's got the same commitment, the same drive, the same energy. He hasn't got the same pace, and he's not willing to do the same legwork as someone like the other forwards, like Foden, like Raheem Sterling, like Bernardo Silva, and like Ferran Torres. And unless he steps up, I said it at the start, before the season started, I said this could well be his last season at Manchester City. So where does that leave us with this argument? I think it'll blow over, it'll die down. I hope it does, obviously, for City's sake. You don't want conflict within and between the players. It's not good, obviously, for team morale, and it's not good for picking up results. You know, you don't want that situation where players are not passing to somebody else on their team. You can't. It's going to be very difficult to be successful with that in your team. Guys, if you're new to our YouTube channel, it would be absolutely fantastic if you could support us simply by subscribing to the channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. See you around, Blues.